Here with Quentin Rampage Jackson. Thanks for coming in. You're a legend of the sport, UFC, Pride, Bellator. I guess you're doing all kinds of stuff now. Acting, podcasting.
Yeah.
I love the fact that you've gone from fighting and you're still doing other stuff. You see some fighters, they don't know. It's hard to walk away from the sport. They don't know how to adapt, but it looks like you're still doing great.
Yeah. I like to do stuff that's fun. You know me, I'm a big kid. I ain't never growing up.
Yeah, it's not like work where you're doing what's fun.
No, but hey, I ain't gonna lie, but today was work, man. I had a long fight scene with this pro wrestler, man. He's like 6'7".
Oh, wow.
Man, it was a long fight. His name Jacob. I honestly, I feel bad. I didn't get his last name. I haven't been watching pro wrestling for a while, but you know, I think he said he was in WWE or something, but I can't. You know me.
Yeah. The choreographed scenes, are those pretty exhausting?
Oh yeah, it's pretty exhausting. You know, it's fun. You know, it's fun on paper. Like, oh, I get to do some fight stuff and everything, but you got to keep doing and change angles, and then it got pretty physical. I had to, you know, get knocked around, but at least I won.
Yeah, I filmed one like D-level movie and I didn't enjoy it. I mean, for a bigger movie, maybe I would, but it was not fun. You're sitting there all day for a couple lines, some fight scenes. It's hard. It's tough.
It's tough.
But I'm sure you learn it. You've done a good amount of acting now, I saw. So you've probably gotten decent. You know how to do it now.
Yeah, you know, I've done a lot, but I still get kind of insecure when I act. I'd be like, I don't know if I'm.
I think just be yourself because you're like so funny and normal. I think you've got to go out there and be Rampage.
Yeah, I know.
That's what they want you for. They're hiring you to be Rampage.
Yeah, I can do that if it's a certain type of role. I can just be myself. But you know, this role I was playing like some thugged out preacher. You know what I'm saying?
So that's hard.
Yeah, so you know, it's a little bit.
Weren't you a little thug when you were young? You could pull an old young thing on Rampage.
Yeah, I can do that, but I have to smoke weed to do that. You know, I don't like to indulge.
Yeah, right. Get all there. So yeah, let's get into your fight career real quick. You had an amazing fight career. I think. When did you start fighting? I think around 99, 2000.
Yeah,
probably.
around there. Yeah, around there.
King in the Cage, or where did you start?
No, yeah, that's where I got my first big break. My first pro fight was in King Cage with Terry
Yeah, because he pushed you pretty hard. I remember you back in King Cage. You were tearing people up. You came out with like the chain.
Yeah.
Like, who were you doing the chain back in King of the Cage? I think
Yeah. I've been wearing the chain since high school, bro.
Oh, since high school. Oh shit, you didn't do that for fighting. That was you.
Yeah, that was me.
How long you had the nickname Rampage?
My cousin named me that when I was 8 years old from the damn video game.
Oh damn.
Yeah.
Video game. So was it from you going on a rampage?
Well, yeah. I used to do that in the house, but he was like, "Oh, you just like that video game you played, Rampage." It was one of my favorite games growing up.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
So I thought that was a fight nickname.
A lot of people think that.
It sounds like a fight name, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. But I'm gonna be honest. If I could have picked my fight name, it would have been Action.
That would be a good name for you too.
It would have been a good name, right?
Rampage is a pretty damn good name.
It's a good.
A lot of action too. Like your fight style is just nonstop action. The slams, the throws, like you have one of the best slams in history. Was it Rona you picked up?
Yeah,
threw you in a
Rona.
deep triangle. People don't. Half my audience is fighting, which is a choke where you're supposedly in big trouble, and you just picked him up over his head and just boom, knocked him out.
What you would have done if somebody would have did that to you?
I would have been dumb and postured up and did the jiu-jitsu technical way. But you
no, I'm talking about if you was putting, because you're a jiu-jitsu guy.
Oh, if someone picked me up, I would have let it go. I would let it go. Yeah, I would have dropped that.
I still can't like understand why he didn't just let the triangle go.
He was just stubborn, I guess. He thought he was going to get you, and he just got put out. Some of these jiu-jitsu guys, they get like too stuck on their jiu-jitsu. If someone picks me up, I'm letting that shit go. Yeah. Even in training, I do that from a habit. If someone picks me up, I instantly let it go, even if I know they're not going to slam me, because I want all the jiu-jitsu I do, I think, is it going to work in MMA in a real fight?
Yeah, he probably didn't think that the slam was going to knock him out. Because that slam don't knock everybody out when they do it.
Yeah, you probably did it the hardest anyone's ever done it.
Yeah, like but I don't think nobody was doing it before then.
Well, you had the power. Someone was showing me like, hey, was this door fake when you split up on a door in the Ultimate Fighter? It was a real door though, right?
It was a real door. It was just cheap.
That's why I said, well, no, it's real. It's just a cheap door. It's obviously not a strong door, but in Rampage is not a normal dude. He can knock off a cheap door.
Yeah, that door is cheap. That door is probably like the same door that's inside of most American people's homes, you know? It's like the cheap door. When it tore apart, I looked at it, and it's like a little thin piece of plywood. Then it had like cardboard, like sideways, like making it thick, you know?
You did tear the thing up. I've never seen that. Someone showed me that because they're like, was that a fake door? It almost looked fake. It's so easy, but I'm like, nah. I know. I've helped coach there. I'm like, they ain't putting fake doors.
They're not going to put a fake door.
That show's actually pretty good at not staging stuff for reality shows. That's the one show that doesn't stage stuff.
Yeah, that's the only reality show I've ever done that don't stage anything. But what they do is they edit it how they want it to play out.
They'll do that, but they're not staging.
They're not staged. They're not telling you what to do. So a lot of people thought that was staged. I don't care. You know, a lot of people think.
I assistant coached there, and there was no staging when I was there. Helped with Coach and Gilbert Melendez.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Chuck. Which Chuck's, my boy. You fought him twice. You know, beat him twice, which is impressive. Chuck Liddell is one of the biggest stars in the sport.
Yeah, Chuck is the OG, man. when I fought Chuck the first time, it was in that tournament. I had to fight Benelay 45 minutes later, right?
Didn't Dana bet like $1 million on him too or something?
Well, he bet 250,000, and my coach at the time, I don't think he thought I was going to get past Chuck. He thought Chuck was going to beat me because we didn't train for Benelay. Yeah, that was a tough fight.
Would you have Vanderlei right after?
Yeah, I had Vanderlei right after. Yeah, 45 minutes later.
Damn, it's crazy. I did a tournament too. When you have back-to-back fights, it's so insane. You go back there and you're like, they don't do those anymore because it's just so insane. But it wasn't regulated back in the day. So you go there, you'd have 2-3 fights in a night.
Yeah, why they don't do it no more? They can still do it if they want to.
I love it.
You bring it back. They should bring it back.
Sure, it's not fair, but that's why it's so exciting. Because I might have a war, the other guy might not. But it's like, can you overcome this?
Right. Somebody should go to another country like Mexico or somewhere where they don't have strict, like a commission, and let's start doing some tournaments. Like
tournaments. There used to be like 3 fights in a night.
Yeah, because Pride, the first round was 10 minutes. You do a tournament, 10 minutes, then 2-5. No, they did a tournament. They did a 10-minute and 1-5 for the tournament. I think, if I can remember.
So when did you went from King of the Cage straight to Pride, or when did you make it to Pride?
Yeah, I went to Pride one time. I was supposed to fight this one guy. I can't remember his name, but he had went to Pride and came back. I'm sorry, I'm bad with names. But
I'm terrible with names too.
He was blowing up at the time, and I think he fought Vitor or somebody in Pride, and he just bitched out, tapped out, and whatever. So I was supposed to fight him in King of the Cage. It's supposed to be a real tough fight for me. And he was trying to get more money out of Terry. So this is how I got in Pride. He didn't fight me. And I trained hard, but maybe I was going to lose that fight. He was probably a better fight. He's been fighting longer than me. But he backed out. He didn't want to fight me. So Terry had the president of Pride there at the show. And he said, man, you have to fight because the guy came and I want him to see you and see your fighting style. So they grabbed some big dude out of the crowd.
Yeah, it used to be crazy days like that. People would fight out of the crowds and
Yeah. He was like, he just grabbed this real big dude. He was a heavyweight. I wasn't heavyweight back then, so I fought the guy and I picked him up and slammed him like Hulk Hogan did Andre the Giant. And I fucked him up and shit. Oh, can I say fucked up and shit on yourself?
Yeah. Poor guy had to fight you out of a crowd. Can you imagine? I'm sure you weren't as good as like obviously your peak, but even young you was. I remember seeing you young before you were like before you were you were amazing right from the beginning.
Yeah, he didn't even know he was
polished,
fighting.
but you were still savage.
Yeah. I was
pick guys up, dip them.
I didn't have stand up or nothing like that back then. And I had a little jujitsu. I was training on the Fabiano Iha. I had jujitsu, but I just didn't like to show it. And the president came and talked to me after the fight. That fight, it was a mistake that I was wearing my camouflage pants that I always walk out in. I didn't bring my warm-up shorts. I forgot my warm-up shorts. And he was like, oh, I like your character. When you come to Pride, you wear your chain, you wear these camouflage pants. I love the way you howl. You make sure you bring these camouflage pants. And then he gave me his card. Then a while went by, and he never called me, and I was scheduled to fight Ken Shamrock.
Oh, wow.
And I had just started training for Ken Shamrock. I had to fight him in maybe like 4 weeks or so. And then Terry Turpcock said, like, oh, you're not fighting Ken Shamrock. You're fighting Sakuraba. I'm like, okay, who the fuck is Sakuraba?
He was a superstar at that point.
Right? I had no idea.
You just weren't following.
I didn't.
Massive superstar.
I had no idea. I didn't watch Pride or nothing like that. And he was like, Sakuraba, he's like a big star in Japan. And I was like, all right, how much I'm getting paid? He was like, double what you were getting paid for Ken Shamrock. I was like, okay. I'm like, when? He was like, 2 weeks.
Yeah, they want those short. They want us to lose. My first big fight was a short notice fight versus Hayato Sakurai in Japan. They gave us that short notice, but
did you win that one?
I actually won that one. I was helping Decision. I was helping Nick train for another fight, so I was in shape. But you came in 2 weeks, but you still had a war with Sakuraba with a 2 weeks notice.
Yeah. I think the main thing was they tried to make me lose 30 pounds, and they wanted me to do it the day of the fight. I was like, no way. So they gave me 3 hours to lose 30 pounds. And this is back when Pride didn't have weight classes. So I lost 27 pounds, and I said, I'm not losing no more. So I made my team carry me to the scales. That's when I first started acting. I was acting like
for a while, right?
Oh, yeah. I was like, oh, no, I ain't doing them. I ain't losing no more weight. They carried me to the scales. Man, I remember that. That was hell, losing that weight. I almost got in a fight in a sauna because, in Japan, they want you to go in there naked.
Yeah, right? It's all those naked dudes.
They got mad at me. I'm like, why y'all want to look at my dick?
Yeah, right? I don't want to walk around naked with all these dudes. They got mad about it.
Yeah, they got mad. I had on sweats, and I had my beanie on. I was in there shadow boxing and stuff, and they was speaking Japanese, and one of the guys in there, he was like, getting all big fat. I was like, what they saying? He was like, no, they want you to get naked.
Want to see your dick.
I'm like, hell no. I'm like, no, they can get the fuck out of here. Because you hangry and shit cutting weight.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I know. People don't know around fighters. You get, those days before, you get mean. There's been a couple times where I yelled at my corner. They just sit there quiet because they know afterwards I'm going to be like, oh, sorry, guys. I've had, you have your one guy cut a weight. He might melt down on you, but you're just like, oh, he's just cutting weight.
Yeah, we know.
All you guys hate you. I've seen guys breaking down crying.
Yeah.
There's nothing tougher than cutting weight. It's tougher than the fight.
I believe cutting weight is harder than the fight sometimes.
I think so a lot of times, yeah. I feel like I was in a die cutting weight before. I never felt like I was in a die fighting.
Yeah.
It's not fun.
No.
In Japan, when I used to go there too, you can't use the saunas if you have tattoos.
Right.
You know how they're strict with the rules. I'd be trying to go in, they'd just be like, no.
Like, you know why they did that? You know why that's a rule, right?
The Yakuza, yeah.
Right. So
but
do
I'm
we look like
obviously not Yakuza? Yeah, that's what I said. I'm like, I'm not Yakuza. I'm white. You're black.
Yeah.
Do you have tattoos or no?
Hell yeah.
They won't let you in either because
no, you can't even go to the gym. Like when I go there and I'm there for a spin or for a long time, you can't. I don't like using the hotel gyms. They suck. So I go to the gyms. I got to wear like a long sleeve shirt.
Yeah, that's right. But they wouldn't even let me in the saunas. I guess they want you stripping down. And
yeah,
stuff.
they want you naked. They be want to see your man meat.
Right. Like I want to check you out. It's a strange place.
It's a strange
place. You have
place.
guys try to was that the first time you left the country?
Yep.
Yeah, same with me. What about a culture shock, right?
Oh yeah, culture shock. But I tell you what though, I loved it. I fell in love with Japan the first time I went there.
Yes, you left right away. I was a little uncertain at first, but
oh hell no.
Yeah,
bro.
I came out there looking around like, what is this crap? But I loved it pretty quick after once or twice.
No,
going
my
out
first
to
time, bro.
Roppongi and we've been to Roppongi a few times.
Oh hell yeah, bro. My first time going out there, I fell in love. Like, there is a God and He loved me. All those beautiful Asian women,
and they love,
and they loved me. My first time,
they love you, they love me. They'd be waiting at a hotel and stuff.
Oh yeah,
like it's crazy, it's unreal.
Crazy.
That's the first time you taste a little fame.
Yeah,
like, you come back to America, you're like, wait, why aren't people waiting around for my hotel? And I'm not famous now,
bro. I'm gonna tell you, I was famous in Japan before I even got there because I've told the story before. But when I left for Japan, I wasn't supposed to leave the country because I got in trouble in college.
Yeah.
And I had the airport police there waiting on me.
Oh, damn.
Somebody snitched on me, telling them I was leaving the country.
Fucking snitch.
And it was fucking snitches, bro. And then so I went to jail. Terry Cock bailed me out.
Oh, damn.
And I had to fly to Japan the next day. So the fight was on, and they put it in the newspaper. This is how big Sakuraba was. Sakuraba's opponent got arrested, and it was in the front page of the newspaper. And they were like, oh, who's this beast coming to fight Sakuraba? And when I got there, people already had like thick laminated trading cards of me. I didn't have no trading cards in America. They already had it, and it was they had
waiting in lines to sign and stuff. Crazy, right?
It was overnight, like famous in Japan.
Yeah, you were a superstar out there, right? You were like one of the
I used to be.
You were one of the biggest stars, I believe, in America out there. They loved you.
I think I used to be. It was like me, Kevin Ranneman, and Mark Coleman, but then Bob Sapp took over. Nobody, no fighter, nobody ever got as famous as Bob Sapp out there.
He was the only decent fighter. It was crazy, but they loved him. Just like what, a 400-pound black guy, just insane.
Yeah, they still love him to today. Like now, I go there. If I don't wear no chain, I don't wear no camouflage, they don't recognize me. Only the hardcore,
some regular black guy.
Yeah, because all black folks look alike to them. So only the hardcore MMA fans remember me or recognize me. Like I remember one time I was out there to do some music or something, and I was with one of my friends, his name Kim Baby, and I saw this Japanese guy walk past me with a poster of me. He looked at me, and he looked at the poster, but I was fat back then, so he looked at me and looked at my face, and he kept walking. There was a couple other black guys he was looking because he heard we was out there, and then my friend said, "Hey, Rampage, come on!" He said, "Oh, Rampage, what? Rampage, what? Like, where's Rampage?" And he walked right past me, and then he went to the Japanese guy, "Rampage, what? Don't get this." He said, "Where's Rampage?" And the guy, he's right there. He
walked right by you.
But I was kind of fat back then, so he probably.
I forgot you mentioned that. You were fat for a minute. I remember seeing you Rampage. You eat Rampage, but you're big now.
I was so fat. I got tired of being fat.
You got lazy and being fit and took a break.
No, I had a health problem. A lot of people didn't understand that.
Oh, she had a real reason, and I was making fun of you for no reason.
No. Come on.
You know how fighters are. We disagree.
Yeah, I know. It's still. I should have corrected sooner. It took me longer than I thought. And that's what turned me away from like the Western medicine. Like I don't trust America.
I don't either, man. I don't trust the medicine.
I don't trust the food.
Yeah, they try to poison the food.
Oh man,
poison us with that poison shot they were trying to give us. Did you get that?
No, hell no. Bro,
not many fighters did. We were smarter than the regular people. I realized.
Bro, man,
I never realized like how normal we were, and everyone else is so crazy.
Yeah, people was giving me so much shit for it, but I stopped trusting them when they misdiagnosed me and stuff like that. Bro, when I started going to Colombia and getting stem cells from BioAccelerator, like changed my life. It helped me heal up. You know, I didn't have a thyroid. I had a T3 problem. And stem cells, I guess that helped healed me up, and it healed up a lot of my other injuries, and now I can train more and strict diet.
There, I think. Yeah,
and fasting.
Great.
Yeah,
I keep hearing I need to go down there.
Yeah, man, it changed my life.
So your health issues are pretty much gone now.
A lot of them. Yeah. I still got like little small niggles, as they say in England,
but mostly,
injuries.
Yeah, but it's treatable now, manageable.
Yeah.
Yeah, I find with doctors, they've tried to give me a couple of surgeries. I've never got them, and I've been fine. You know, they're like, "Oh, you need a surgery on your neck, you need a shoulder on your knee," and I'm just like, "Let me try to rehab it myself." And I'll have like 3 doctors tell you, "Oh, you 100% need a surgery," and then you get fined. So I don't know. You realize a lot of it's a scam.
Yeah, they just want money.
They really started paying attention when they tried forcing those shots down us.
Bro, it's all about money. That's why our food, the fast food, everything, all that shit got chemicals in it and all this shit, because they know you're going to eat it for a long period of time, and after a while, you're going to start needing medicine.
And that's why so many people are sick. Like most people, like not most, but a large percentage of people have health issues in the country. That's the primary reason, that and exercise.
Yeah, I've learned
more food.
Right. I learned if you start fasting, that you'll rectify some of that.
No, I agree. I don't really intentionally do that, but like a lot of times I don't eat till like later in the day. I do like, what's intermittent fasting? People are telling me like, oh yeah, I'm already doing that. I don't eat till like, you don't eat till late afternoon anyways. People just eat too much constantly. Yeah,
we eating too much, and there's a lot of garbage here. When I go to Colombia, I eat whatever I want. I break my fast. I don't fast and stuff. I eat whatever I want because I'm out there socializing as well with my friends that I made out there and the guys that work there. I eating pasta, breads, all the stuff I don't eat here. Like sweets. I lose 15 pounds, and I don't go to the gym when I'm there.
No, it's like that a lot of times when I travel to other countries like Brazil, even like Italy with all the pizza. It's like it's a higher quality stuff. You realize that with America. That's why I never go to fast food or chain restaurants. I think a lot of people are sick and they don't realize it's because the food they're eating.
Yeah, and they're giving it to their kids.
Because they don't know, because especially if you're not making a lot of money, it's all the fast food's the cheapest. It's like the cheap food.
Yeah.
So that's what, these areas, they're giving terrible food. They can't afford the good food. Look at Whole Foods. That shit's expensive. Like a person can't walk in and shop at Whole Foods for like 4 kids.
Right. Even fast food went up. It's not as cheap anymore. Everything's going up because they raised minimum wage, which is fine.
That and printing more money and all that, all the combination of shit.
Yeah.
But you realize the government ain't out to help us.
No. I used to be like oblivious. I didn't know, but now I know. The government don't fuck with us. They trying to control us.
Yeah, once you start going that rabbit hole of like, I wish I was ignorant still. Like back when I was fighting, I didn't pay any attention, and then they shut down the country and all that, and you realize, oh, these people are not our friends.
Yeah, did you know like maybe our grandparents parents didn't have to have a driver's license?
I know that, but not surprising. Like everything, like now you need regulations to build on your own property. Like I can buy property and I can't build on it.
Yeah,
can't build an own house in my own place. I can't add anything on. I can't, It's just insane. You can't go fishing without a license.
Yeah, it's illegal to live off the land. Like, you can't collect rainwater in certain states and stuff. It's just not fair, man.
They keep adding more and more rules and laws. So hopefully we'll have a swing the other direction, but I doubt it.
Yeah, I'd be thinking about moving to like a Southeast Asian country or something like that. I'd be thinking about it if I didn't have all these damn kids.
Yeah, no, I love Southeast Asia, but exactly, it's hard if you have kids because you want to have that connection to your kids and stuff.
Yeah.
And going out there is hard, but it's so cheap. It's nice. People are nice. Good food, weather.
Yeah.
I saw somewhere an interesting story. I saw you talking actually how you had a 6-year-old kid that you hardly knew. You handed you, and they took him over in the middle of your fighting career.
Oh, what, my son Roger?
Yeah.
I got custody of him when he was 6.
Damn, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. I got baby trapped back then too. I ain't gonna lie. I was fresh out of college, and I had some needs, and his mom fulfilled some needs, and she was poking holes in the condoms and shit.
Yeah, women don't do that, guys. You gotta realize that, even when you're broke.
Yeah, I didn't have shit, but back then, I had a good job because my family owned a construction company and stuff. I had a good job. I was working for one of my uncles, and I had a nice apartment and stuff back then, but I was broke, and she, I ain't gonna lie, she was broker than what I was, and
So to you, she was rich. It's all perspective.
Maybe, yeah.
You had a job.
Yeah, and she didn't have to poke holes in my condoms because after a while, after I was dating her for a while, I'm a man. The condom came off.
It happens.
It happens, what I'm saying? And shit, yeah. And she moved away. She got pregnant and she moved away. And I was like, maybe that baby ain't mine. And then I was fighting pride, and she called me up and she was like, oh, I'm pregnant. And I was like, I don't know that baby mine, but and I moved to California. I said, look, I'm gonna keep my number the same. You know, so when I start making money, I get a DNA test. If it's my baby, then, you know, I take care of it. And then she kept seeing me fighting in Pride.
She sees money coming in.
Yeah, and then her grandmother, she was a deadbeat. Her mother was raising them. So I was married at the time, and I got my son Roger, and my wife at the time. She left me. She was like, choose me or that baby. I was like, fuck.
You gotta take your kid. That's tough though, because you didn't really know him that well. That must have been really tough having to try to get the bond in the middle of your fighting career. Because I got a daughter in the middle of fighting career. It's like it's hard. You know, like luckily I'm still close to her, but it's hard. All the traveling we did and. It's tough, right?
Yeah, it was tough. You know, made me a single parent again, but I got him. But I'm glad I got him because, you know, fast forward, you know, 20 years later, his mom gets murdered.
Oh my God!
And you know, what if I didn't get him? He would probably, you know how
he would have been in the same stuff.
He would have been in the system. And,
no, usually when you come that way, you almost always circle back through. It's sad. You know, I don't know. You were in a pretty rough area, right?
Yeah, I grew up in a pretty rough area. You know, I was smart enough to, you know, figure it out. I figured my life out at 17. I'm like, I don't want to be like my friends.
You know, you see it because I grew up in one of those areas too. Everyone's, you know, their parents are drug addicts, but by like, they hate their parents are drug addicts and like 13, 14, they start doing drugs. They go in the same cycle. They go to prison. They get hooked. You just see that cycle going. You're like, damn, I don't want to do this.
I don't mean to talk bad about anybody, but I think it's the dumbest thing. Like the guys that I used to run with was selling drugs and doing all this stuff, and they saw what the junkies did for the drugs. Then next thing you know, they're doing it. They going to jail. They see their friends get murdered and stuff like that. And I see a lot of my friends get murdered. I was like, whoa, this ain't what I want. Mm-hmm. And so I was just 17. I was like, peace.
When people get sucked in. They get like sucked in the culture. They start thinking it's like cool drug dealing, shooting people, and it's like that's not cool. It's something that you're stuck having to do. But it's become a thing where it's like, oh, it's what you want to be doing. That you don't want to be doing that.
I'm gonna keep it 100. It's something wrong with my culture. Not 100% of everybody in my culture. Yeah. But in my hood, it's like back in those days, it was cool to be dumb, fuck up in school. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's just something wrong with the cultures. You know what we talk like, and you got to think about it. You got to think about it from this standpoint. To be honest, like my grandparents didn't really force my parents to go to college, right? Because they didn't know that they didn't go to college. You know, it was kind of hard for them to go to college, so they wasn't really, you know, educated. You know, and teaching education, right? It's just how I go now. The generation, like people my age and stuff, like we're talking to our kids to go to college, even though I think most colleges are ripoff.
Yeah, right.
Okay, but still, back in those days, it wasn't. It was better for you to have a college.
Yeah,
but they wasn't taught that, and so in my neighborhood, if you were smart, if you made good grades, you know, people made fun of you. And people get tired of getting
you're acting
bullied
white and stuff, right? If you're doing well,
if you speak correct English, or you act a certain way, why you acting white? And so a lot of people they have that where they don't like to they want to fit in, they want to be in the in crowd and cool. You know, like me, I ain't never give a fuck about that. You know, I was just a product of my environment, but I didn't give a fuck. You know, I actually used to be pretty smart in school, but I started smoking weed too young,
right?
And that fucked me up.
Me too. I was smoking weed too young, and like, I mean, actually, it's harmless. I don't think it's totally harmless. I was smoking way too young. I was like 12, high every day. I quit finally. I'm like, oh, I'm like more clear headed.
Yeah, it's. I don't think weed is really bad for you.
Yeah.
But I think if you smoke it too young, your brain's not developing, and fucks you up, right? I remember when I used to do well in school, and then I started smoking weed. I started smoking weed way too young. Then I just fucked off for school, right? But now I think I don't feel like there's anything wrong with weed, but I think if you smoke it too much, then it's drug abuse.
No, exactly. I think it's okay to smoke occasionally, but you don't want to constantly need to be high.
Yeah. Because you depend on anything.
What do you think causes? You said like there's problem in the culture. Like, what do you think the causes that?
It's a lot. I feel like it's a lot of different things. It's your peers, and also it's like the music.
That's what I'm thinking. Like maybe it's like push. Maybe it's like not organic. Maybe it's like push from the industry. It's probably multiple areas. There's poverty, but it goes beyond that. It's like being pushed to be like. It's cool to be violent, to be going to prison, and that shouldn't be pushed. It's like a positive.
Yeah,
thing.
it's like culture. Like, you know, people in my culture, you know what I'm saying, they brag about, oh, I'm from here, I'm from there, and you know, like they so hood and stuff like that. And I kind of understand it, but at the same time, it's like that. You know what I'm saying? That ain't the play. You know what I'm saying? The play is, you know, brag about what hood you from, that you made out of, and now you successful. But you know, they still trapped in that mindset. But I'm gonna take a step back a little bit farther. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people might realize this, and you know how I am. I don't hate anybody. Yeah. And I learned that, you know what I'm saying, I just learned certain things. I grew up in the South, and I'm from the city where Dr. Martin Luther King was killed. and I remember back when, you know, things was different. Like my parents told me about segregation and stuff, right? And my parents grew up in that time.
Yeah.
It wasn't that long ago. Like it wasn't that long ago when like my parents and my grandparents, they couldn't go to certain restaurants or, you know, ride on the front of the bus.
Yeah.
You know, it's not that long ago.
Yeah, because especially Tennessee is that where they grew up.
Right,
That's
in Memphis, yeah.
Segregated,
yeah. And so what people said though, after segregation was ended, we started getting like liquor stores and stuff in our neighborhoods. They don't put no gun up to people's head to go and use it and stuff like that. But then crack started in the 80s. Crack started flooding our neighborhoods, and you know what I'm saying, you gotta really think past like a certain point, like who's bringing the crack into the neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? You gotta think about it.
CIA and stuff probably.
I'm just saying, like, you know, back in those days, black people, we didn't have fucking the means.
It got flooded from somewhere.
Yeah, we didn't really have the means, but we sell the shit out the motherfucker. I'm guilty of it. I didn't know any better.
Guys are guilty on the small level, but they're not guilty of the big level. It's like someone on the big level is orchestrating it, bringing it in.
Yeah, and
it's interesting.
They said it was designed that way. It was a design.
My guess would be it was.
Yeah,
it was interesting. I had a guest on, another black guy, and I was talking about that same issue, and he goes, segregation is where things started going backwards. He wasn't saying it was a bad thing, but he's saying black people before they had their own dentist, black doctors, black stores, black this, and then they started pushing the welfare state, and it's, you know, obviously it's a complex issue. He's not saying it was bad, but it was like he thought it was too rushed. I think they didn't really have a plan. They just did it with no real plan, and it caused not the only issues. He said it was one of the causes.
Right.
I never thought of that before. I'm like, that's an interesting.
But good things and bad things came out of it. You know what I'm saying? No one, like I said, no one put a gun to anybody's head and tell them to do crack and tell them to go to the liquor store. But look, this is a crazy thing too. I don't know if it's connected, but when I'm back home and whenever I go somewhere, I know I'm in the hood if there's a Church's Chicken. Did you ever think about that?
I never did, but now I start paying attention.
Have you ever ate Church's Chicken?
I have not. Is that some serious hood stuff?
Yeah. Even if, say I go to another state, somewhere I've never been. Say I go to, I don't know, Kentucky, or go anywhere. Whenever I see a Church's Chicken, I'm like, oh, damn.
I'm getting my white ass out of there.
I'm like, damn, I'm in the hood.
Yeah, right. I try to avoid that. I got, Marshawn Lynch, the football player?
Yeah.
He brought me out to like Oakland one day, like all black. I'm looking around being like, I'm a stick next to you and I'm going to get out of here. Oakland gets pretty hard, and right there. It's
Oakland is a lot like Memphis. Oakland, when I went there, it reminds me of my hometown.
Yeah, it can be pretty rough. So I've heard Memphis is pretty rough.
Yeah, it's gotten worse.
There.
Yeah, it's gotten worse. It's gotten worse since Hurricane Katrina. It's gotten worse. A lot of people from Louisiana and stuff in the area moved there to Memphis, and it's gotten
It's getting worse, not better.
Yeah, it's not getting better.
Yeah. So let's switch back to fighting for a little bit.
All right.
So let's go back to since we're fighting thing. Let's go to Pride. Do you like Pride or UFC better? I know it's a tough question, but
it's an easy answer for me. Mm-hmm. I like Pride better, but I like the pay in the UFC better.
Yeah, because I guess the pay's already, and you're kind of the edge when it's starting to get paid pretty good.
Yeah. Pride fucked me over, bro. Pride fucked me over. They really fucked me over.
They weren't paying you well, huh?
No, bro. Cause they got me. Remember I told you earlier that when I got that Sakuraba call, it was double what I was going to make for Ken. So Pride paid me $10,000. I was going to fight Ken for $5,000. But that's a lot of money for me back then.
Yeah, I think we were so broke, so it seemed like a lot of money, but it's like so shit looking back.
Bro, I was fighting King Cage at the time for like $1,000 at $700,
Yeah, I remember the first time I won the Rumble in the Rock tournament, mass tournament, won like $50K or something. And I'm like, I'm rich, but really it's like nothing looking back.
Yeah.
But when you have no money, it seems like a lot.
Yeah. And back then, bro, that's the only reason why I started fighting.
Yeah.
So I could make a living, because I was already a single parent with my oldest son at that time. I got him when he was 3. Yeah, so they paid me $10,000 cash, and
bring it back right in the plane. Yeah, they start paying more. You have like you're only supposed to fight with $10,000. They give you like $50K. Like, where am I gonna put it?
Bro, I worked my way up, and Pride really started fucking me over, and people that was on the same level as me was getting paid 100, 150, 250, and I was still making 30.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah,
you're a big star there. When they're treating you like shit.
Yeah, bro. They
something personal maybe with the Yakuza.
No, it wasn't. It was these people that worked for they was like well, let me see what they was. They was kind of like what Hunter is to Dana
UFC,
White,
to
UFC. So they was like that, and they worked closely with the president and vice president, and you didn't negotiate with them. With the president, like you wouldn't negotiate with the Dana White. You wouldn't negotiate with these people, and they'll go back to talk to Dana White, right? So the manager and stuff I had at the time, they just didn't know any better.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, it's better than nothing. But then I found out that I was getting fucked over, and then that's when I started getting out of the contract. Then I left Pride right before they lost their TV deal with Fuji TV.
Yeah, it was crazy because it was so huge in Japan. They'd sell 56,000 seat arenas and then just went under because it was a Yakuza scandal. They lost their TV deal and just fighting disappeared. And fighting's kind of dead in Japan now. It's kind of sad.
Yeah. I jumped ship right before they.
Perfect time. Yeah, UFC probably paid you pretty good to jump over. And
yeah, I got lucky. I went to WFA was trying to come back, right? And my manager at the time, this wasn't the original manager that got me the shit deal in Pride.
Yeah.
He took over later because I fired that manager and I tried to get with him to get more money. That's when I started making more money over there once I got a better manager because he knew where everybody else was getting paid. And
so he told me.
So he started giving me better paydays. But by this time I was salty because a lot of reasons. I had the #1 selling toy out there. And they only gave me one, right? This is how stupid they are. They only gave me one toy. So when I got the toy, my family members and friends always wanted me to get them a toy when I went to Japan. And I would go to the store and try to buy one because I don't like asking people for shit. It was always sold out. And so they would pay you in Japanese yen how much percentage your toy make, and they would just give me bullshit money. They was like, "Oh, your toy don't sell."
Just scamming it.
And I was like, I told them right to their face. I said, now I know how stupid you are because you said my toy don't sell, right? And you only gave me one toy. If you were smart, you would give me more toys. So I wouldn't try to go to the store and buy them. They always fucking sold out. Then they get eyes get big. I say, you fucking stupid. You fucking with the wrong motherfucker. And then I started having problems with the video game stuff. And then they started fucking with me. So I was like, oh, I'm out. So my manager at the time, he became the president of WFA. And so by law, he couldn't manage nobody. So he let me go. So he doubled the biggest purse I ever had in Pride for WFA, and gave me this the craziest pay-per-view deal because he knew they wasn't going to do pay-per-view.
Yeah.
So when Dana White bought,
so they had to buy at the pay-per-view deal, so you were getting paid.
When I fought Chuck, oh my God, I had the best pay-per-view deal.
That's awesome.
And MMA history.
Yeah, it's where a lot of the casual fans are like, oh, fighters are paid so bad, which is partially true, but they don't understand there can potentially be some big backdoor money.
Yeah, they don't know.
So the big stars end up making a lot of money people don't know about.
But you know what? That low-key make us look bad because MMA fans think that we don't get paid shit.
No, it's weird that they want them thinking we make a lot less than we do. It's kind of strange, right? But I think it's they don't want fighters knowing other fighters make. They try to keep it secret, especially when Lorenzo owned it. He'd give big bonuses sometimes. Sometimes the bonuses would be bigger than your paydays, stuff like that.
Right. Granted, we don't make Floyd Mayweather money, and we don't make Pacquiao money, and Cotto and what's the redhead dude name?
I'm terrible with names too. I know you're talking about the redheaded Mexican.
Yeah, goddamn, I'm a fan of his too.
Right, I know exactly what you're talking about.
We don't make their motherfucking money. But we make more money than some boxers. But the thing is, we still ain't making the money that. But you know what? UFC, how many fights they put on in one night? How many fights it'd be like? It'd be like
10, 12, sometimes a lot.
Yeah. In boxing, it would be like 4 fights. It'd be like 4 or 5 fights. You know, with
4 or 5, I think. Yeah. I think the undercards actually make less in boxing than undercards in UFC. So it is. I think we should get paid more. Don't get me wrong, but it's not as bad as a lot of people realize.
It's not as bad as a lot of people think because they only see that check that we get from the commission. They don't see what your full purse is. Then they don't see your pay-per-view numbers and the bonuses and stuff. So.
I think they also do that so fighters don't know what any other people are making.
Yeah.
It's a smart strategy. Dana's a good businessman.
Yeah, but Pride, they had in the contracts that we couldn't talk about our purse.
Oh, damn.
That's how they got me so many years. Heath Herring is the one. Heath Herring is the one that fucking kind of burst the bubble and told me that I was getting fucked over. But you know, me and Heath Herring, we used to hang out. I miss Heath Herring, man. I miss Heath Herring. He's a good dude. We used to hang out, right? And he one day we was just hanging out. And he was like, "Hey, how much you getting paid?" I'm like, "Bro, you know I can't tell you this in the contract." He said, "Come on, man, it's just me and you, bro. Ain't nobody else here." So I told him, "You getting fucked right away?" I was like, "What? I'm getting fucked over?" Yeah. I kind of figured I was like, yeah. He said, "Man, you a big star in Pride now. You getting fucked, bro." I was like, "Okay, how much you getting paid?" He was like, "I can't tell you."
So you know way more than you.
Yeah. He was like, he said, "Bro,
a lot more than you."
A lot more than you.
Yeah, that pissed me off.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's good things and bad things about Japan because it was definitely a little shady sometimes. You could tell they wanted you to lose. I remember way back in the day, we didn't have cameras on our phones yet, and then we realized they were recording us training. We're like, what are these guys doing? And then we caught them, and all of a sudden they didn't speak English anymore. You catch them over the eye, they spoke English, and all of a sudden they're like, oh no, they start blobbering off. Like, I know you, motherfucker. I know you understand.
Yeah, bro. I thought that they was very honorable. Oh, and when it comes to business, no, bro. There's one thing you got to know about Japanese people. They have books and laws about all that. What was the name of that book? He was like a samurai. And they all know. That book he wrote, they all do business by that. You know, I married a Japanese woman, and I learned about You
learn when they're being shady.
Oh man, she told me some inside stuff. They all read that book and they all do business by it. If you ever go to Japan, anybody and you guys, you ever go to Japan and do any business, they're going to fault you if you don't know their customs, even if it's your first time. If you go and do business with somebody in Japan, you pay attention to them, but actually find somebody you trust to ask them their customs. Somebody hand you a business card in Japan, you go and you look at the card.
You gotta look at it
with both
disrespectful,
hands. Yeah, you turn it over and you look at it. You try to remember his name, then you put it away. Don't just put it away.
Yeah, super respectful.
Yeah, and then they'll fault you even if you don't know their customs. And they all go by some certain code. They do stuff a certain way, very robotic. Not to say anything bad about Japanese people because I love them.
No, yes, pros and cons. It's a very interesting society, but there's definitely things to be shady and tricky.
Yeah, they're shaded, bro. Shaded in business. Like, they videotape you.
But they'll videotape you. Or they'll do like,
oh, you lose your wallet? You lose something? Oh, they won't steal it to do it.
They would never steal from you directly, but they'll do like
business. Oh yeah,
business. They'll try to get you drunk and get the secrets out of you.
Yeah, because they don't see that as being dishonorable. They're like, oh, it's business. You know what I'm saying? They was like, everything's fair in business.
But they got like the Bushido with some things, like, you know, the warrior spirit with fighting.
Yeah.
Fortunately, I think that's died off a little bit with the new Japanese culture. They're doing weird shit, like, you know, dating like chia pets and not having sex.
Yeah. Yeah, bro, it's crazy, man. Like, their population is really dying because they ain't having no babies. I was thinking about going over there and helping them out.
Having a bunch of babies.
Man,
yeah. It's weird. I don't know why. It's like the girls seem like they want to have sex over there. I don't know what the guys are doing.
Yeah, the guys, what it is, like, the way they reject them is too hard. Like, women are really shy. I will always say Japanese women are very shy until they get naked. When they get naked, they ain't shy no more.
Yeah, they act all coy.
Yeah. But until then, they shy. So if the way the guys are getting rejected and they can't deal with it because in Japanese culture, from my understanding, is the worst thing you could do is make a mistake. That's why it's really bad. So the people will ridicule you, make fun of you, and bully you if you make a mistake. So if you go and hit on this girl and you can't get her phone number or something like that, you know, you fail. You know what I'm saying? It's bad.
It's interesting because that culture shame's massive there. So they probably get culturally shamed when they messed up. We were foreigners. We didn't care. We'd walk over there, we'd see a pretty girl, walk up and talk to her.
Yeah, we walk and talk to her. You know,
they're
easy to talk to.
We'd be like, hey.
Yeah, if you speak a little Japanese, it's better. But yeah, you know, someone speak English, they're easier to talk to. And I'm down to go over there and help save that motherfucking population.
Single-handedly have like 100 kids.
Dude, bro, I go over there and make a whole bunch of Japa niggas. I don't give a fuck. Send me over there.
A little rampage.
Hell yeah.
Japanese.
Send me over there. I'll come back with a bunch of Japa niggas. And with all crazy names and shit. If they boys, I put them in MMA.
Names or what? Or,
both.
All Japanese or a little mix?
Japanese name, nigga names.
Japanese hood.
Hell yeah. I got 2 Japanese niggas at home right now.
Yeah. Making them fight or what?
You know what? One is a girl, one's a boy. And my daughter, she'll be 18 at the end of this month. I'm so proud of her. She got her first job. She's really smart. You know, they fluent in Japanese, reading, writing, and she is a good athlete.
How they get so smart?
Yeah, they smart. They got it from me. I told you I used to be smart. I used to be smart until I started smoking weed.
Yeah, and getting punched in the head.
Yeah, their mom is book smart, but she don't got no fucking common sense. But she book smart, but I got common sense. I got common sense, man, and I got really good problem solving skills. I'm really quick and I'm intelligent, but I just don't show it all the time. You know, it's like life is like poker. You can't show your hand.
You can't show everything.
And my daughter, she's a great athlete, and my son, he's not as great as an athlete as my daughter. But he's like almost genius level. He's like the smartest person in my whole family. He's like a nerd. He's going to college to be a robotics engineer.
Oh wow.
Yeah, he looked like Tiger Woods. He's like a cool kid and everything. He's 19, but he's a good athlete. We had him in MMA when he was young, but his mom just too petty. She played basketball in high school, So she forced him to play basketball, and it wasn't his sport. When he was doing MMA, kickboxing, I used to go and watch his training and stuff sometimes. He was good. Good athlete, flowing. And even now, I take him to the gym with me sometimes, and the kid got pop. He can hit hard and stuff. Like, he's just a natural athlete. All my kids are natural athletes. My oldest son, he was good at basketball and football, but he was albino, so I would never let him fight or nothing like that. But he trained Muay Thai. My team trained him Muay Thai because I was a single dad. We'd be at the gym, and he just got really good. He had the best technique I ever seen as a kid, because I raised him since he was 3, and he was going to the gym with me, right?
Yeah, you got nothing else to do. You're the gym. Sorry, kid, you're stuck with me every day.
All my kids are great athletes.
Mm-hmm. What gym were you mostly training at when you were fighting, or did you switch gyms?
Well, I started off at Team Punishment. I was training at the gym Tiki took over now, but Fabiano Ihab was there, and then I went to the guy that started me to fight MMA. I don't say his name anymore because he turned out to be a rotten motherfucker, But I'm a good friend. I'm loyal. He left the gym because Tito came there, and he when Team Punishment came there, Tito came there. Tito was the star of the gym.
So it became all about him.
Yeah, it became about Tito and not about this motherfucker. He's like the worst when it comes to that. So we went to Chris Brennan's gym. So I trained there for my Sakuraba fight with Chris Brennan's gym. Then after that, I left Chris Brennan. I left and I started training with Colin Oyama because I wanted to go back and train with Tito. So I started training with Tito for years. Then I stayed there, and then I started training boxing. I was doing my own thing and bringing people.
You did a lot of your own training, really.
I brought
put your own style together. I think a lot of times as fighters, you got to we have coaches, but got to kind of put your own style. Like I said, it's martial arts. It's an artist.
Yeah. I did my own thing. Then I teamed up with Wolf Larry out in England. Okay. I was training out there with them for a while, and then I came back, and then I just hired my own coaches. And I never trained with a lot of like top name professional fighters. I trained with Chet Congo and stuff like that. He's like one of the top names I like that I train with, but I don't like to train with too many. I'm gonna be 100.
Guys you might fight.
No, just too many alphas.
Yeah, it gets tough.
It gets tough. You get hurt. You get hurt.
Yeah, I was fortunate with the small crew I have with Nick Diaz, Nate Diaz, Gil Melendez. We didn't have a lot of ego problems hurting each other, but a lot of these gyms you go to and guys, their egos get in. You can tell. Yeah. Like when someone gets successful, you tell they're not really happy for them. Yeah. Like us, we took turns. Other guys are more famous. We're always happy for each other. But you see these gyms, you can see one guy's getting more attention. They don't like it. They're trying to hurt you in sparring. Yeah, guys will try to hurt you in sparring. It ain't no joke.
Yeah, I never went around. And back then MMA was small. It still is, but it was smaller. So you train with these people, and you never know they go train with your opponent. Mayhem did it. Mayhem went and trained with Dan Henderson when I was fighting for the unified belt. One of the biggest fights of my life.
See, yeah.
And so it's
I never got along with him that good. That's a little snake move.
But I love Mayhem. Mayhem is like my brother, right? Yeah. So if you really know me, you know what I'm saying. It's like if I love you, you're my family, and you know what I'm saying. You could do no wrong, and because I'm a child of the Most High God, and so Mayhem going to train with Dan Henderson.
It's pretty snaky though.
It did, but it actually helped me win because Dan Henderson.
Off.
No, it didn't bother me at all. I bring it up to him. I throw it in his face all the time. But Mayhem trained with Dan Henderson, and he was showing Dan Henderson what he does to beat me. And so Dan Henderson fought like Mayhem. So I'm used to training with Mayhem.
Yeah, it's like, all right,
but Dan Henderson couldn't do it as good as Mayhem. So I'm like, oh, I've seen this before. I know what it is. Yeah, and he wasn't good.
You won that fight, right?
And I won by decision. It was a tough fight.
It was tough. That's one of the.
It was the biggest fight of my life.
Yeah, I remember when I fought him. I got knocked down like 3 times. I managed to. He's vicious.
Oh, Dan.
Yeah, I beat him in Strikeforce, but it was brutal. That guy's a menace.
He's tough. It was one of the toughest fight. I think
that right hand he throws.
Oh yeah, he hurt my jaw. I hurt my knuckles fighting him. My knuckles was injured for like a year or so.
He's put his head down when
he put his head down.
Because he throws the head down. You
hit on top of the head. That's a good tactic, though. I can't get mad at him. The only reason why I beat Dan Henderson, because I've trained with him before, too, as well. I knew it was going to be a tough fight. So what I did was, in training camp, the last 30 seconds, I told my teammates, my coaches, let me know when was the last 30 seconds. And I went balls to the wall and sparring, training, everything, sprinting, running, whatever, last 30 seconds, because I knew it was going to be a close fight.
Such a smart strategy. When I teach guys, I try to tell them that win that last 30 seconds. If you're in a close round, I don't know why more guys don't do that. If you win the end, that's what the judges are going to score.
That's the last thing the judges see.
You might have lost most of the round, but if you fire the guy at the end, the judge a lot of times will give it to you unless you get beat up bad.
Yeah, that's the last thing the judges see because they writing it down at the end of the round.
Who won this round? Oh, this guy just took it.
Yeah,
it happens all the time.
So I don't know why a lot of people
close round. Some guys will get a takedown or land some good shot, something.
Yeah.
Save that energy and go right at the end. Good strategy.
That's the only way I beat Dan.
Yeah, you fought like the who's who. Do you have any fight that sticks out as one of your favorites, or just too many good ones?
My favorite was when I finally beat Vanderlei Silva in UFC.
Yeah, that was Silva was a match. You guys had a big feud too for a long time, right? Did you guys get any street fights too, or just
no,
crazy.
No, we never got into street fights. But the thing is, he hated my guts. I feel like because I was the only fighter that wasn't never afraid of him. Now, I remember when I fought him for the Go ahead.
I'm turning it off.
You can edit it, huh?
I didn't turn my phone off.
I remember when I fought him. I think the second time when it wasn't a tournament. When I was fighting him for the belt, I remember I had the Karate Kid drums. You remember the drums? Mm-hmm. And I was infatuated with. I was a kid back then, bro. I was in my 20s. I was like 24. Mm-hmm. I was a kid. My son's age now. That's fighting.
Yeah, right.
I walk around with do, and he was there. We doing a press, and he got mad at me. He was like, stop fucking playing with the drums. Like, who the fuck you think you are? I'm gonna do it more now. So I started fucking with him. He's like, oh, I'm gonna fuck you up for that. And so I annoyed him. I was a kid. I fuck with this guy. He fucking hated my guts.
Everyone was scared of me. Intimidated everyone. Too. Yeah. Like he probably didn't like you back down from him.
Yeah, I never backed down. I'm like, wait, he got a gun? He gonna bring a knife in the ring? What is he gonna do?
Yeah, he was always getting in fights. Didn't Crazy Horse drop him or something?
Yeah, Crazy Horse knocked him out. That's the rumor. Like I got confirmation. Yeah, Crazy Horse knocked him out, and it was a big brawl back there. They were stupid. They put Crazy Horse in a locker room by himself with a bunch of Brazilians.
Oh, Jesus,
back in prime.
Some people that don't know, they see this like, it's gonna be a problem. Especially Crazy Horse. Crazy.
Yeah, Crazy Horse. Don't put Crazy Horse.
Yeah.
And he in Japan with no fucking cornerman, or if he did have cornerman, they pussies. Let the Brazilians fucking jump him.
Bully him, yeah.
They put him. They before his fight, they choked him out in a guillotine.
Oh damn!
I mean, I'm sorry, in a triangle choke.
So after he dropped him, they beat his ass. Damn.
I honestly, I don't know if that was before he knocked out Vanderlei or after, but that's what happened. He fought two motherfuckers.
Did he still fight that night, or is
he still fought that night? And Vanderlei still fought that night too. I think he got knocked out. I think Vanderlei won. I can't remember if Crazy Horse won.
Yeah, Vanderlei was savage. Remember they fed poor Sakuraba was such a big star. Then he beat him. They made him fight him like 3 or 4 times. I think 3 times in a row, and that was kind of when he went downhill in his career.
Yeah, that's when they brought me in. They brought me in after Vanderlei knocked out Sakuraba, so they needed a big tough guy to make Sakuraba look good. That's why I got my big break.
Him going again. Yeah.
So I was happy that
it worked out for you because
it worked out for
Pride. Because Pride was like epic. It was this the feeling, the energy of it was like unreal.
Man, and guess what? Years later, I bump into Sakuraba. He was out in America for something. I bump into him, and he didn't know who I was.
Really?
Yeah. And I was like, Sakuraba's a big jokester.
Yeah, he has to know who you are.
Bro, after I fought Sakuraba, I did a movie with him in Japan. We on a movie set for a week. You do a movie with somebody, and you cool. You friends. You pretty much friends for life, unless you hate each other.
It's like you're training in the gym with someone for a while or something.
Yeah. So I saw him again. He acted like he didn't know who I was. I'm like, oh, okay, Sakuraba, yeah. I'm Rampage. He said, oh, Rampage. And then recently, I just did one of Josh Barnett's pro wrestling things in Japan. It was actually in June.
Right, Josh Barnett does much of that, yeah.
Yeah, Josh Barnett, what's it called?
I'm not sure, I don't really follow.
You know how bad my memory is.
I know Barnett does pro wrestling out there.
Yeah.
That shit pretty hard?
Hey, it's fun. You should do it, bro. You should do it.
Right, I'll be down. Maybe it might hurt my body flipping around, but
no. It's like you do it like an MMA match.
Excuse to go back to Japan.
Yeah, but he does it all over. But I told him I do it only if it's in Japan, because you at that point you're not doing it for the money. You're just doing it. I get it.
You trip to Japan, go play around. Yeah, I probably don't pay that good, right?
It's not like what we used to.
Yeah, right. No, nothing real.
Yeah, but I was there in the locker room with Sakuraba. Now he remembers me, and we talk and we have a good time, and I think we become friends. I started following him on Instagram because after I fought Sakuraba, before I fought, I didn't know who he was. Then after I fought him, I figured he was a fucking big star. When we fought in Saito's Super Arena, they lowered me down with Sakuraba in a fucking big cage, because remember I told you I got out of the cage. Like, Sakuraba was the biggest star in Japan at the time.
He was probably the biggest star. Yeah, I think that would be accurate. I think he probably was the biggest.
Bro, he was like a Kobe Bryant in Japan.
He was a massive
LeBron James.
superstar. 'Cause he was a big star in America. At least anyone that watched fighting.
No,
he was
not
like
Pride wasn't that big.
No, you're right. He wasn't a star. He was a star to people that watch fighting.
Yeah,
he wasn't a star,
No,
but to
not
people
like
that watch
that.
fighting, he was.
Yeah,
But yeah, definitely not. And not in real, because Pride was never big in
No,
America.
no, it wasn't big in America.
Yeah, people that haven't watched Pride watching it should go back and look up some of these old fights, like Rampage slamming people, like just so many good fights. Sakuraba, Vanderlei Silva.
Bro, that was my best time in my career when I used to fight in Japan. And I like the attention in Japan. I like the groupies. I like the shit. I like. I ain't gonna lie. I'm keep
not
lying.
gonna say don't like groupies.
No, yeah, I'm a man. Fuck it. I like it. It was fun and shit. And I come back home, nobody knew who the fuck I was. Every now and then, it'd be one or two people like, "Oh man, you fighting."
It helps keep you humble, though. I bet, right?
Yeah,
Some
I
of these
loved
guys,
it.
They get famous real quick. You see their egos go out of control, but like you never did. Chuck Liddell, these guys, their egos never spin out of control, and that's like so important.
Yeah, because that's not why I started fighting. I started fighting to pay the bills. I didn't want to fight so I can go to a fucking bar club and have dudes ask to buy me fucking drinks. And
It's
shit.
all dudes, right?
It's all dudes, bro.
People think, oh, it's great being famous. Not our fame. It's all dudes nonstop. Like just guys coming up nonstop.
Yeah, but you gotta love. Listen, no fans, no sport.
I love my fans.
I love my fans.
Yeah, guys can come up to me, but it's my friends always joke like, "Oh, bro, too bad you're not gay." It's all dudes coming up.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna be 100. I don't love all MMA fans. I love all Rampage fans. and I feel like the fans that really know me, they're really my fans. They know how I am, so they know how to approach me. They be like, because some dudes they make it awkward.
Yeah, right. Or they call you the wrong fighter name or something. Do
Bro.
you get that ever? Dude, black.
I get called Randy Jackson all the goddamn time. Back in the day, people used to call me Rashad and shit.
I would get Chael Sonnen sometimes.
God,
I look like him a little bit. I could see it. I got Sean Shirk one time. Like I'm not like 5'4", Sean Shirk. Like what the hell?
Bro, but I'm gonna tell you, bro. I was on a date the other day, having dinner at one of my favorite restaurants, Lagos in Fullerton, California. One of the best Mexican restaurants I've ever been to. Just throwing it out there. And we enjoyed myself, and this dude walks in, and he was like, started talking loud, screaming, "Oh shit, rap! It's a nice restaurant." I'm like, "Oh, chill out, dude. Calm down." He's like, "Oh, okay." And I gave him dap, and that's why I dapped him like cool. And then he could ask me for a picture right then after he'd been quiet, and I didn't have no food on my table. I had just sat down. I guess he's coming from the restroom because his girl was already sitting at the table. And then he gave that. He didn't ask for no pictures. I was like, "Oh, okay." Maybe he's got embarrassed because I shushed him.
Yeah.
And because I get embarrassed over shit like that because women and stuff. People didn't recognize me. If nobody recognize me, I'm cool. And then my food come and stuff like that. I'm eating. I'm on with my date, and so we talking and having a good time. And then he come back, "Hey, can I get a picture? Can I take a selfie?" I was like, "Oh, hold on. Wait till after dinner." Like, I'm eating, bro. I'm eating. Bad timing, bro. I'm sorry. I apologize. I was nice to him. And then he get all sad face. He's going to sit down. He finished his food, paid his bill, and then he walked by. He's like, "Oh, man, I used to be a fan of yours all the time, but now I'm fuck with you." Bro, I had food in my mouth, and I fast all the time. I'm like hangry. I'm like, "Man, fuck you. I'm spitting my food out. Fuck you. You a motherfucking weirdo anyway." And it just, man, and I know, like, I don't think that dude was a Rampage fan.
No, probably not. He just like saw you. Got
he knew
excited,
what was, yeah.
The way you are. No, people get like so weird. Like I have no problem with people coming up, but if they act weird, that's exactly. If they get all too excited, it's like
it make it awkward. But this is the thing about me. I don't mind fans coming to me. They do it right. But if I'm eating, don't come up talk because I'm a germ freak. I don't want nobody eating. Because when you talk, you spit. People spitting all over my food. Like, no, bro, I don't want to shake your hand. I'm eating. And it's it. I'm just a weirdo, and people don't understand that. I'm just a weirdo. I love Rampage fans and stuff like that, but I ain't gonna love you if I'm with my kids or I'm eating or I'm trying to get a girl phone number. I'm trying to dance on the dance floor.
Some girl and some dudes are on your face.
Yeah, bro, it's bad. But you gotta love the fan. I ain't gonna sit here in front act like I don't love the fans.
Yeah, and which might talk to girl though. They see these guys keep coming up and they're like, "Wait, who are you?"
Oh yeah,
not just some random.
Oh my god! Hey, I'm gonna tell you what though. That shit never happens at the right time though.
They wait till the girl walks off, then they come up.
Oh my god!
You're supposed to come up when they're there.
Hey, be honest hour right now. Have you ever been hitting on a hot chick and you just wish a fan would walk up to you right then? Because
maybe, but then they wait till like you go to the bathroom, then they come up. Like, "Oh, don't we play?" Like, you're supposed to come up when the girls are there.
Yeah. Oh my god. Sometimes I'd be like,
right now, and someone needs.
Right now, I'm not doing good with this. I'm trying to get this girl. No,
I need the fans to come up.
Yeah. I'm not doing good. I don't think I'm going to get this number. And it never happens.
That dumb stuff can help, but you start learning human nature when you get a little fame from female nature.
Yeah.
But I saw you say something that no one else ever says, but you're like, don't ever hold a girl's purse. It's like the gayest thing ever. Like, you see these dudes like maybe real quick, but they're sitting there at the club like holding a girl's purse. Man, I don't know. That's
I'm not saying it's gay. It's not gay.
It's feminine. It's not gay, but it's.
I'm gonna tell you what it is. Okay, women I feel like a lot of times some women try to emasculate you and stuff like that. And like I find myself biting my tongue a lot, especially lately. I be biting my tongue a lot, and you know what I'm saying, it's some women have their way. Like women are used to getting their way, but with a lot of men because they hold the keys to sex, and a lot of men, it's what drives them, right? And so you see a lot of women, not all women do this, but a lot of women, they like to brag to their girlfriends, like, oh, I get this guy, I got to wrap him around my finger. And they got these guys, he's emasculating by holding his purse, walking down the mall, walking the thing party, holding this guy holding the purse. Guys, don't do that. Don't do that. It makes you look bad. The girl's not going to respect you. She's bragging to her girlfriends that she's doing that shit. It's emasculating you. Yeah, she need help. She's
pulling a jacket off.
Yeah, but doing something like, you pick up, hold her purse for a second, give back to her. But I ain't walking nowhere like, no, you hold your own purse.
It is. It's emasculating, and girls try to do that, and guys think they don't, but they do. They play games, and often if you fall for the games, they end up cheating on those guys.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
They think it's like cool, but it's not.
No, it's not cool.
And other guys look at it, and you're like, okay, that's pretty lame.
Yeah, and then I saw it come out. And the people post about, and the simps, they come after me. Like, I don't expect for the simps to understand it.
No.
Like, you go ahead and you simp, and let's see how your relationship pan out. This is not cookie cutter, everybody. Maybe you got one girl. Maybe your girl is too ugly to cheat, but
yeah, every rule has exceptions, but as a whole, it's not the smart thing to do. We've just seen it from a different side. You see how these girls emasculate the guys, and then they make fun of them to the dudes they're cheating on them with.
Oh yeah. Okay.
We've seen the other side.
We see the other side all the time.
It's kind of fucked up to say, but we've seen different realities. These guys, we try to warn these guys. They think we're like being an asshole, and you're like, don't do that. And they're like, oh, you don't know what you're talking about. Like, okay, I don't.
Oh yeah, because be honest, when you single and you ain't got no girl, do you care if you smashing a girl? She got a boyfriend.
I mean, not really. No, it's kind of fucked up to say, but
it's true. If she got a husband, okay, that's different. That's different. But she got a boyfriend.
They usually don't even tell you till like after a lot of the times. It's just like, that's between them. That's why I never understood if I had a girl that cheated, I wouldn't be mad at the guy. I'd be mad at her.
Yeah, you get mad. Yeah, same thing. Come on, we all been cheated on. Yeah, I don't get mad. I don't get mad at the fucking. I don't get mad at the guy. I get mad at the girl.
Yeah, the deal between you. It's not between anyone else. That's what's weird. People get mad at the wrong person.
They get mad at the wrong. Hey, have a girl ever said, not too deep? I have a boyfriend.
It doesn't count that way. Yeah, it's. Like you said, I'm through those days of my life, but you see the scandalousness of women. Oh yeah, and I know you liked women too.
Yeah. I just don't. Honestly, I just don't trust them. Like, I'm not talking about all women, but it's hard to trust women based off my experience with women. You know what I'm saying? I grew up with 2 sisters and my mom, and I love my family, and I learned a lot about women from being in a family with women. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I love women. Don't get me wrong. You can't live without them. You know what I'm saying? We need them. They're not better than us. We're not better than them. But we're not equal. We're not equal to women, because equal mean the same.
Yeah.
And I love women, but I just from based off of my experience, I just don't trust.
Yeah, we've seen exactly. You see different reality. You notice a lot of famous guys can come jaded. But I think a different side too. It's like when you're doing well, not doing the thing, letting them emasculate you, they're a lot less likely to cheat.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
Put your foot.
But it's like,
yeah, you got to put your foot down. Like me, I give. This is what I do. I'm gonna keep it 100. This is what I do. I so happen to be a Southern gentleman, and my mom didn't teach me this. Nobody taught me this. I just, it's my culture, and it's just in me to be a Southern gentleman. I do everything but put my jacket in the puddle. You know what I'm saying? For a woman, I But I'm not a simp. Ain't nothing wrong with being a gentleman.
Yeah, you be a gentleman without being a simp. Exactly.
Right.
People mix the two up.
They mix the two up. And but a lot of women has killed chivalry, and sometimes a woman, I start off being gentleman to her, but then sometimes there's certain women, they like take advantage of it, right? But my thing is, I treat a woman very well, and until she fuck up, and then it's easier for me to be like, okay, peace, I'm out. And I don't look back. And a lot of women don't understand that, because women are used to like having guys like, saying, kissing their ass. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll literally kiss a girl ass, but
but not figuratively. Exactly.
Like,
that's the worst thing you can do. That's what drives them away.
That's the worst thing you do. But I'll be I treat a woman, you know what I'm saying, like a lady, if she is a lady. But this is something I learned at a young age. You can't treat a woman like a hoe. you can't treat a hoe like a woman. You can't treat a lady like a bitch. You can't treat a bitch like a lady. You gotta treat a lady like a lady, a hoe like a hoe, a slut like a slut, a woman like a woman, a girl like a girl. You can't treat, because if you try to treat a lady like a hoe, it ain't gonna work. And you try to treat a hoe like a lady,
it's really gonna go bad. If you try to treat a hoe like a lady, you try wifing one up, you see your friends do that. No. I tried telling you, that ain't gonna work.
It's not gonna work. I learned that at a very young age. You got to figure out what type of woman you're dealing with, and that's the fun part. You figure out what type of woman you're dealing with, then you try to treat her accordingly. And you know, I don't judge anybody and stuff like that, but I have my reasons. I try to treat women very well, because I do believe in karma, because I have 2 daughters, and, you know, sisters. I believe in karma. But if I treat a woman very, very well, and she take advantage of it and take it for granted and stuff like that, and she act a certain way, that I'm like, oh, okay.
That's what you got to do.
Yeah.
Speaking of women, I saw something kind of funny. I looked at your Wikipedia. It said controversies. It said these interviews you gave, which they completely, the way the Wikipedia acts like you're harassing these women, but the interview, there was one you gave where you're flirting with a girl and you grab her and she grinds on you and she's like, cut the camera. It was her, and they act like you were harassing this girl. And then I think it was another one with Karen Bryant when you guys were flirting and she was going along with it. Yeah. It shows you how they spin things. It's like controversy with Rampage. And I watched the interviews and I'm like, these are like totally.
Yeah, it's like
we're going along with it.
Yeah. Like
Karen never said anything, right? Because she's because she's a friend of mine. You guys were obviously just having fun, like chatting.
Oh, she's happy. She said that's one of her highest.
Yeah, they tried acting like you were harassing her.
No,
and the other
she
girl,
never complained. No,
like sat on you and like, let's cut the cameras. It's like, what the
No,
hell?
that other woman, she never complained about it either. And I'm not going to sexually harass a woman in the first place, because I respect women too much. You know what I'm saying? But you know, I joke around. I'm a joker, but I'm not going to do it on camera and stuff like that. But you got to think about it. That happened years ago.
No, that was like 20 years ago, 18 years ago. Not 20. 12,
well, probably like 17 around there when I humped her. But the world's gotten softer, and she wasn't even the first woman I humped. I humped a Japanese reporter in Japan, and everybody laughed about it.
Yeah.
Then I humped that lady, but I'm not gonna lie, I saw that again recently, and it did look kind of creepy when she was at the end. She was like, "Oh, okay, cut the camera." But if you go back and listen to what she was saying.
Yeah, well, obviously you wouldn't do that now because you're older, but she was playing along with it.
She was playing along with it,
like you
but
and Karen were having a good time. Like,
Karen,
you were being a little flirty, but Karen's a friend of mine, and she was just like playing along
she was.
with it,
I never touched Karen, and I motorboated I act like I motorboated. And her husband was a cameraman.
Yeah, it didn't look like you crossing lines to me and watching that, being like, this wasn't no bunch of bullshit.
No, but you know, times have changed. You know, back in the day, like in our parents' days and our grandparents' days. You know, people were smacking women on TV. Right. You know what I'm saying?
It was like the norm, yeah.
And it was the norm. They was smacking. You can't do that no more. And now, you know, that video, that shit lives on. You'll go watch a black and white and you see this man smack his wife around there. We look at her like, oh my God. Yeah, then now you see a man like humping a woman. Like she didn't complain about it. She was cool with it. It was, you gotta listen to her interview. She was talking about making love, making love in movies and stuff like that. I'm like, no.
Yeah, she asked. Love singing. The question first was like sexual.
Yeah, and it was cool. But people are so weak right now, and so. What I want to say about that is I apologize to all you spineless betas, you know what I'm saying, that get a fucking life. I know most of you guys probably virgins don't know shit about women. That shit was in a different time zone when y'all wasn't even, you're probably just jacking off and smelling while you sniffing your grandmama's sock. Shut the fuck up.
Exactly. I was scared. I thought you were going to apologize for a second when you said I'm going to apologize. I'm like, no, don't apologize. You didn't do anything wrong.
Come on, man. You know, right? What you got right here?
This is my sponsor, the Methane Blue. It's a new sponsor. Have you tried that before?
I haven't had.
Turn your teeth blue, so put it in the back of your tongue.
I heard about Methane Blue. I don't know if I'm allowed to say this. You can edit it out if I say something wrong. But what I did hear about Methane Blue back in 2020, it was curing COVID.
Yeah, I just recently started using it, and I think it does help for a lot of stuff. I don't know about COVID or not, but it's great for like your blood circulation, energy.
Yeah, Methane Blue. If this is the same thing I heard about, it cured like one of my friends had COVID, and they had to fight, and they didn't want to pull out the fight. They took the Methane Blue. I heard it was blue, and it cured them from COVID in 6 days.
Yeah, it turned you super blue. I started taking it. People swear by it though. So
yeah, what does it do? Would it make my dick bigger?
Maybe probably like 10 inches.
Oh, shit. Then that'd be 20 then. I don't need that much. I can't fuck no more Asian
yeah, don't take it then, no. Just take one dose.
Man, I'm joking. I ain't even got 10. I ain't even got 10 inches.
That's just gonna sell out now.
Why you think I like Asian bitches so much? I ain't got 10 inches. Come on, why you put me? I'm joking. I ain't letting y'all know what I'm working with down there.
Anyways,
all right, but can I have
that's
this?
gonna sell it. Yeah, take it.
Oh, okay, thank you. Yeah, methane blue. I heard good things about it.
No, like I said, it's legit. So yeah, before we wrap up, a couple more things. Always want to. I was watching too. I forgot. I used to always fuck with Ariel Helwani.
Oh yeah,
that guy. You guys are friends, I think. But that guy's such a fucking dork. I still don't get along with him.
Man, Ariel's a good guy though. I'm gonna tell you.
To be fucked with though. You used to fuck with him all the time.
Ariel's a good guy, but it's just so easy to fuck with him. But I think he knows if he like pull my chain, I'm gonna get pissed off and fuck with him.
He can he instigates shit.
He instigates shit,
and then he acts like he doesn't.
Right.
Because I got into it with him in Miami, who's doing a card, Jake Paul thing. And he's like taking a mask on and off, but it was like for the camera, it was fake. And then I tweeted a picture or a video of him doing it, and I tagged him. And he goes running over right away, and he's like, "Take that down. We're friends. I would never write anything bad about you." And I'm like, "You're a journalist. Of course you wouldn't write down a bad article about me. Like you could just take your mask out. I'm not taking it down." And he just got so mad, and he's hated me ever since. He's like, talking crap about me on the show. It's
no
like,
way.
He was the one wearing the mask. Take the stupid mask off if you're embarrassed that you're like faking it. And the guy's been all weird since then.
Hey, bro, that was a weird timeline that we lived in.
Weird shit.
But I'm gonna tell you, I hope you and Ariel Helwani, make.
Yeah, I don't have any hard things. I just think he's a baby that he like flipped out over that. It's like,
yeah, why we?
I even tagged him because I thought it was like funny. He thought it was like it was the most disrespectful thing ever. It's like take it down. And I'm just like, why do I take it down? You're like wearing a mask. It's funny. It'd be like if you wrote an article about me in the media and I was like, take that down if I lost a fight. It's like I lost. I shouldn't have got knocked out.
Right.
Your dumb ass was wearing the mask doing interviews.
He was doing, yeah.
But then it was like he was faking it, I think is what it was, because he was like take it off when he was talking to people off camera. It was a big, it was a show. They were trying to pretend like they believed in the mask.
Yeah, but a lot of, I'm not taking his back because fuck Ariel Cohen. That motherfucker cost me so much money. But back in those times, like you had to, it was political and shit too. And like your boss, if you had a boss, you had to. I'm gonna tell you, bro, I hated wearing those fucking masks. I
Oh man, I couldn't do those masks. I had to a few times for like playing.
Yeah,
like corner a couple fights. It was so dumb.
Oh my god, I hated this shit. So I got these like the masks that they kind of like a thin like silky type thing. That's the only thing I got. I like fuck.
Some dudes they just put like silky panties over their face.
Yeah. It was like when you just said that. When you just said that, you brought images to my mind of when that shit first happened and people didn't have masks. They was making makeshift masks. They was wearing like
people just like panicked, dumbasses.
Motherfuckers just putting anything. I saw one dude, he turned some panties into a mask, and people's wearing like stupid shit as masks. I was like,
yeah, it showed me how stupid humans are. I'm like, we got some dumb motherfuckers in this world, and they just went right along with it. And the MMA media was terrible. They were all freaked out over COVID, trying to get mad that Dana was getting it going again. The media is the worst in MMA. I never realized how bad they were. They were like so woke. They push all the woke shit, the COVID.
Oh my God, yeah, bro.
I don't know how they cover the most manly sport and they freak out. Perfect example is like, if you get in a brawl, they act like it's the worst thing ever. Like, this is going to ruin his career. It's like, it's MMA fans. They want to see fighters get in brawls. Two pro fighters got in a fight outside the cage. It's different if we're like beating up random people. But if a fighter fights a fighter, it's like not a big deal.
It's not a big deal. I don't know. I think some people, if they if they doing journalism and shit, maybe they just trying to make a story out of something.
Well, you always seem to have that like slant of everything's like from the far left angle, it seems like. So I don't know.
I don't know. What I've learned is in this world, there's negative people and there's positive people. And people going to have like negative views on stuff and people going to have positive views. You can see it like on social media. I studied social media because I wanted to invent one. And you can post anything and then it could be something that's got nothing to do with anything else. And you're going to see people arguing in the fucking comments.
Love to argue. It's funny.
It's the weird thing. So, I think that it's just what it is. In the media back then, like they were scared and they was told by their bosses, "You got to do this, you got to get COVID." And bro, it was the weirdest. I'm just sitting back watching this. I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
It's like, am I crazy or is everyone else crazy? Is everyone freaking out over this stuff?
Yeah.
I didn't realize. Okay, they were the crazy ones, not me.
Yeah. I knew I wasn't the crazy one. I kind of knew it, and then it all came out to light. Like. What the fuck? The shit it was kind of like a strong flu, if at best.
Yeah, like more like a regular flu. Like maybe it was the flu.
Yeah, maybe it was.
The flu kind of disappeared that year.
Yeah, what happened to the flu? Right, still right now, people getting the flu and they say, "Oh, I got COVID."
There was literally no flu the year of COVID. or the 2 years of COVID. It just like disappeared.
Yeah. But the thing was, people was losing their taste and their smell,
that's
right?
the one thing. Some people say they lost their smell.
I
don't get sick.
I never had the flu. I never had the flu before, right? But this is what I remember. When I was a kid, I remember one of my family members had the flu, and I asked them, I was like, so how do you feel? What's the flu? They were like, oh, my body feel achy, and I can't smell, and I can't taste. And
maybe they just added that in there. It was a different version of the flu.
But that was years ago when I was a kid, and COVID wasn't around. And so when I heard that again, they said I can't. They said no, COVID is different because you can't smell, you can't taste. And you know, my memory's not the best. Mm-hmm. And I said, but I remember somebody was telling me that, so I called my mom. I said, hey, back in the day, didn't people complain that when they had the flu, they couldn't smell and they couldn't taste? Back in the day, she said, yeah. People. I said, so
maybe it's just the flu again.
Yeah, maybe it's just the flu.
And they freaked out the whole world, closing down. Like, it was very obvious there wasn't a pandemic going on, but everyone seemed to be convinced there was.
Did you catch COVID ever?
No, I never got that.
I never caught it.
I'm not catching no COVID.
I never caught it.
No COVID take me down. Everyone's freaked out. I'm like, if this shit kills me, it would have been more embarrassing if I died of COVID than anything.
Yeah.
If I died of COVID, this is going to be embarrassing. But he goes, so yeah, after this, are you allowed to talk about, you said you're going to do some reality show?
Yeah. When I land tomorrow, as soon as I land at LAX, I gotta go to watch this fight. One of my friends, Charlotte Craig, she's fighting. I think it's LFA. I'm not sure. I think that's what she's fighting. But we doing, her and I and a couple other people, we doing a reality show podcast. This is a reality show podcast with Riddick Bowe. You remember the boxer?
Yeah, the boxer.
Yeah. He got robbed by his manager years ago. He got robbed by like $17 to $20 million. And we're trying to get him back relevant, get him back, earning money.
Making some money again.
Making money.
It's sad when you see guys who are big stars and doing well get freaking broke.
Yeah, and on his first podcast, we got Sean Penn on his podcast. So I think it's going great. So we're going to resurrect Riddick. And
I don't really follow boxing, but I recognize that name.
Yeah, he was like one of the best heavyweight boxers in his time. He said he was like 50-1.
Oh wow,
really
good.
I don't know how much older than you I am, but back when he fought Holyfield one time, you ever hear this man coming down in the ring in a fan in a parachute in a boxing ring? You never seen
Vaguely.
That? Yeah, this was years ago. We was young. You was probably how old are you?
No, I think we're the same age, like 45.
Oh yeah, I'm 46. Yeah, so we was really young. I remember seeing that. He said that's the only fight he lost because they had to stop the fight and all that, and he never got warned. Yeah.
Was it outside fight or?
Yeah, it was it was a bigger ring. It was open like a stadium or something.
I'm gonna look that up. That's crazy.
Yeah, he said that's the only fight he lost because he didn't stay warm or something. I'm like, oh, that's a good excuse.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to make an excuse, but it's just a legit excuse.
Yeah, it's a legit excuse.
Both guys do it, but it's still lame. But 50-1. But boxing also, they do something where they kind of pad their records more than MMA. I think MMA is so popular because we fight all the best. Like,
that's
we
why
go against everyone. That's why it's gotten so popular. Like you're fighting just killer after killer, and boxers are like, oh, I don't want to fight him. They have a good promoter. They'll have their first 20 fights versus bums. And MMA, we're like, let's just give me the toughest fight.
Bro, that's why MMA is a better sport than boxing. Because, you know what I'm saying, they call boxing matches. Now, we fight. We're fighters. We're the real fighters. They know it. And boxing, you're right. They pad their. That's why you get so many 30-0.
So many undefeated boxers because they worry about their record. And MMA records don't really matter. It's who you're fighting and who you're beating.
Right.
That's what's great because you can have a couple losses even, but if you come back and get a couple big fights, you're a big star again.
Yeah. And boxing hasn't started a movement like MMA did. MMA started the whole jiu-jitsu movement. And
that's true.
Yeah. A lot of people go and start training jiu-jitsu, then they go and train other stuff,
Yeah,
jiu-jitsu. Yeah,
jiu-jitsu's massive now. So when people do recreational for like a hobby to stay in shape, it's great. It's changed quite a bit.
Yeah.
So before we wrap up, let's just go. You have your own podcast now, which is doing quite well. I looked at it, the Jackson podcast.
Right? Oh yeah.
I hopped in there too, but it looks like you guys are doing like, how long you had it for? A couple years now?
No, it's just been a little bit over a year now.
Well, yeah, you guys are blowing up pretty quick.
Yeah. Thank you, Bear. My co-host Bear. He's great, and we got Luke Rockhold over there, and then we do the UFC recaps with TJ Killershaw.
Oh yeah. So him on there, and
yeah. So Bear, I'm gonna tell you something about Bear. Bear does the guy. He's a genius when it comes to business. Like he works really hard. The guy always working, and he puts everything together. And I have to be honest. I don't have to do shit but come and sit down.
Show, sit, yeah.
The guy's a hard worker, and he puts all the stuff. He puts all the stuff together. So, I have to say the podcast is only as popular as it is because of him. Because I went off and tried to do my own side quest. And bro, it's so hard getting gas to be there.
It's a lot of work. I didn't realize I do my own podcast. I'm doing most of it myself, but it's really the combination because he's organized for you, and then you're a star power. So I'm sure it's really the combination.
Oh, okay.
You definitely do a great job on the podcast. I don't think without him, without you, he wouldn't be accessible. Without you, he basically needs both of you.
Yeah, because like I said, I tried to do one of my own, and I just can't. I'm like, fuck this.
Yeah, it's a lot of organization. You realize I didn't realize what I was jumping into. I'm just like, I'm gonna hop in and do this. And I'm like, oh, damn, it's a lot of work, but it's fun when you're working. I like staying busy, which you obviously do too. You got reality shows.
Yeah.
You're filming a movie right now.
Yeah, I like doing fun shit. I like doing fun shit. For me, it's not all about the money anymore because I don't love money, but I like it a lot.
The same, yeah. I like making money, but I'm not driven by money.
No,
driven by money. I think you make more money a lot of times when you're not.
Yeah.
Like, when we started fighting, there was no money in the sport. We were retarded. We were fight $5,000. You were for $10,000. You're gonna fight what? Frank Shamrock or Ken Shamrock or Frank? You were gonna fight.
I was going to fight Ken for
$5,000. That's like so insane, right? And then you fought Sakuraba for $10K. It just shows you there was no money.
Right, yeah, but that was a lot of money to me at that time.
Same thing. I was so poor. I saw Chuck got like $50,000 payday, and I'm like, oh, I could be rich off this,
bro. I remember my first time I got $50,000 cash.
Yeah, I thought I was rich,
bro. I used to blow through that money so fast. I used to have to hide money from myself.
Have your little stashes.
Yeah, because I forget about it. Then I come back later, like, oh shit,
I got found $10K.
Yeah, crazy.
Cool. Anything else before we wrap up? Or
no, man. Thank you for having me, man.
Thanks a lot, Rampage. Good having you.
Right.
Good one.
Winners win, and losers lose. I'm going to fight. I'm going to work. I'm going to press forward. I'm going to do everything in my power to become a victor and not a victim.
Jake Shields!
Two-time Strikeforce middleweight champion. Two-time Elite XC welterweight champion. Fought for the title in the UFC. Is back at 170, where he has only been defeated twice in his entire career. He is world class.